Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into a really powerful piece, Anton Chekhov's short story, Misery.
That's right.
We're going to unpack, the grief, the loneliness, and maybe most importantly, how people just don't react sometimes to suffering. And we're basing this all on the sources you sent, especially that really insightful study, Chekhov's Misery, a study of grief and indifference.
Yeah, and our goal here, our mission, if you like, is to pull out what makes this story written way back in 1886 still hit so hard today.
Right.
Chekhov just nails this universal feeling, not just the pain itself, but the agony of that pain being completely invisible to the world around you. Misery is, well, it's the perfect title, really. Captures both the inner turmoil and the outer indifference.
Okay, so let's dive in. The scene opens. It's St. Petersburg. Snowy, biting cold evening.
Freezing.
And we meet Iona Potapot. He's an old sledge driver, waiting with his horse, this little white mare, looks tired, weak.
Yeah.
And straight away you feel something's wrong with Iona. The source even says he looks all white like a ghost.
And we find out why pretty quickly. It's brutal. His only son died just a week ago.
Only a week?
Yeah. And it's not just the loss, it's the total isolation. No wife, no family left. He's got this silent question hanging in the air. To whom shall I tell my grief? That's the core of it right there. This man is just overflowing with this immense sorrow, desperate to let it out, but there's just no one. It's a really stark setup.
So he has this grief and he needs to share it. His search for someone, anyone, to listen starts. First, Fair is a military officer.
Right.
And you see immediately how grief is affecting Iona physically almost. His driving is bad. He's distracted.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
The officer complains. Other cabbies are yelling at him. It's clearly more than just bad driving, though.
Oh, absolutely. This is Chekhov showing us that indifference right away. Iona, he tries, really tentatively, clears his throat, mutters, my son died this week.
So quiet.
So quiet. And the officer, he'd ask one question, what did he die of? Here's of his sickness. And then boom, watch the road.
And that's it.
That's it. Gets out, doesn't say another word. It just slams the door shut on any possibility of connection. Shows how wrapped up people are in their own worlds.
Wow. That's harsh. But Iona doesn't give up yet. He's still waiting. And then this next group comes along. 3 young guys.
Yeah, noisy, maybe a bit drunk. One's a hunchback.
They barely offer him any money, but he takes the fare anyway, probably just desperate for anyone.
You feel that desperation, yeah. And this encounter, it's almost worse in a way. It's not just indifference, it's disrespect.
How so?
Well, the hunchback stands right behind him, breathing down his neck, mocking him. And Iona tries again, even more desperately this time, you feel it. My son died this week.
Yeah.
Nothing. They're too busy joking around. One of them actually hits him on the back, like he's a horse.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. And Chekhov adds this incredibly painful detail. The hunchback's cough reminds Iona of his son's last moments. It just makes his grief feel even more trapped, suffocating. Yeah. Because nobody is hearing him.
So he drops them off? And that feeling of loneliness just gets heavier, doesn't it?
Definitely. He sees the city lights, people rushing past, but he's completely stuck in his sorrow, waiting for fares that just aren't coming. Lost.
It's like he's in a bubble of pain.
Exactly. And that leads to maybe the most famous line in the story. Chekhov writes something like, if Iona's heart were to burst and his misery to flow out, it would flood the whole world, it seems, but yet it is not seen.
Wow.
It just captures that feeling perfectly, doesn't it? This immense world-filling sadness inside him, but totally invisible on the outside. The scale of the pain versus the world's blindness to it. That's the tragedy.
Invisible. Yeah, that's the word. But it must feel overwhelming to him.
Absolutely.
So he makes one last try with Human, back at the cab yard. It's described as stuffy, dirty.
Yeah, not exactly a place of comfort.
He tries talking to another driver there, maybe finds some common ground, someone who understands the life.
But no, that fails instantly too. The guy just rolls over and goes to sleep, doesn't want to hear it.
So that's it for human connection then?
That seems to be the moment Iona realizes it, yeah. No human being is going to listen. He's completely, utterly alone with this thing, more helpless than ever.
And this leads to the ending, which is just unforgettable. After all these rejections, he does something truly heartbreaking.
He turns to his horse.
His little mare, the only companion he's had through all this.
Yeah. And he just starts talking to her, tells her everything about his son getting sick, dying in the hospital, how lonely he's been, pouring it all out.
And the horse just stands there.
Just listens, doesn't interrupt, doesn't judge. She becomes his only confidant. And, there's maybe a tiny bit of relief for Iona in finally saying the words out loud.
But it's relief found with an animal.
Exactly. And that's the devastating point. One critic calls it a pathetic relief and a horrifying and heartbreaking revelation.
Because he had to turn to an animal. Because no person showed him any empathy.
Precisely. It's a crushing indictment of the human world around him.
So, beyond just telling this sad story, Chekhov is weaving in these really big universal themes. If we were to break those down, what really stands out?
Well, obviously, grief and loss is central.
Yeah.
But it's the quality of that grief that's all-consuming for Iona. His son was everything. It shatters his whole world.
It paralyzes him.
Totally. And flowing directly from that is the loneliness and isolation. He's in a busy city surrounded by people, yet he's completely unseen. It's that awful feeling of being alone in a crowd.
A feeling many people can probably relate to, unfortunately, which highlights that other key theme, right? The sheer need for human connection.
Absolutely. He doesn't want money. He doesn't want advice. He just needs someone to hear him, to acknowledge his pain. It underscores how vital empathy and just listening are.
But instead, what he gets is this wall of
human insensitivity. That's the flip side.
Yeah.
Chekhov is really critical here. The officer, the young man, the sleeping cab driver, they all represent society's failure or maybe unwillingness to see and respond to suffering. Even when he says flat out, my son died, it doesn't break through.
They just turn away.
Yeah. It's an active dismissal, almost.
And Chekhov uses symbolism so effectively, too, doesn't he? Like the setting itself.
Oh, definitely. The snow and cold aren't just weather. They mirror the emotional coldness, the indifference Iona faces.
And the horse.
The horse becomes this symbol of, silent companionship, unconditional listening. The only warmth, ironically, comes from an animal.
Well, the city.
The city itself represents that paradox, full of life, full of people, yet a place where you can be completely devastatingly alone and unheard.
So, wrapping it up, Misery is just this incredibly concise yet profound story. Uses simple language, quiet sadness, but it really gets under your skin.
It does.
Iona's journey through that snowy night is like a symbol for all silent suffering, isn't it? And the core tragedy is that simple, awful fact. Nobody listens, even when he tells him the worst thing imaginable. His only comfort comes from his horse.
And that ending, that pathetic relief, as the critic put it, it's horrifying, really. It reveals this deep-seated human failure, this potential for abandonment that still feels chillingly relevant today. It's a stark look at how deep isolation can go.
It definitely leaves you thinking, and maybe asking yourself, how often do we walk past our own Ionas? People carrying immense pain silently, just needing someone to notice, to listen.
It's a powerful question. In our fast-paced lives, it's easy to miss those signals. But Chekhov seems to be saying sometimes just stopping, just truly listening.
Yeah.
It might not fix everything, but it can be a lifeline. It can stop someone from drowning.
So this deep dive into Misery, it's more than just literary analysis, isn't it?
Oh, much more. It's a reminder, a call maybe to be a bit kinder, a bit more observant, and to understand the profound power of simply listening, to really care.